20,000 subs. I never thought I would be here when I started this channel. I started this channel in 2014 just to post some paintings here and there so I can post them on Reddit back then. But here I am almost 10 years later with 20,000 subs. I know in comparison to other channels, 10 years is too slow to grow 20,000, but I wasn't as active throughout all the 10 years. I was active probably in 2 or 3 years with a year or two in between. But even with that, people have stuck around for some reason. And the comments are so beautiful to read. Makes you feel energized and want to keep on going. And for that, I thank you all. Everyone who watched my videos and everyone who left a comment, encouraging me to do more videos, asking questions, or just even liking the video. I thank you all for that. By the way, the painting in the background is just a quick sketch I made in like 3 hours for a portrait using Frank Reilly's method along with some Loomis techniques here and there, just to be a background for this video. At the end though, I will add a little bit of a twist to the final painting, so stick around to see the foreshadowing of an upcoming tutorial. Currently, I'm still working on the perspective course, and I'm happy with the reception so far. Now, it might seem a bit slow, especially for people who already draw, but in order to do a complete course, it has to go from start to finish without skipping any steps. So years later, if anyone wanted to start from the beginning, it will be all there for them. Things will start picking up bit by bit as we go on, I promise. You'll find your missing piece of information in the lessons ahead. I tried my best to cover everything I can think of while drawing in perspective. That's why the mini-series went from 1 lesson to 100. So strap in for a long ride. Maybe even a whole year to finish this mini-series, and some other lessons along the way. As I mentioned before, I want to revisit all series that might need a bit of a remastering, like the top 10 ways to draw the head, for example. I want to add a higher quality drawings to that video, and maybe a higher video resolution. Maybe also some examples for each method, like not only just one example, but more than one in different directions. Also, I want to finish up some old series like the top 50 mistakes beginner artists do and the figure drawing series, as well as the visual library series. Now, I usually don't like to mention Patreon or membership to this channel, but if you ever feel like tipping, there are links in the description for both, and any amount would help to turn this into a full-time job. Focusing on this channel and making more quality videos is something I'm looking forward to. Because income from views alone isn't as high as it was before. I think I made around $2,000 in 10 years, which is basically 3 months rent for me in 10 years. It's funny because our channel are not known for high views like drama videos or gaming videos. And for that, I'm starting to see art drama channel lately, which is, I don't know. I also saw some art channels stop posting altogether, which is really sad because when I started here, there was a lot of them around. Most of the ones I see now are making shorts, maybe 1-minute tutorials that are mostly pointless, to be honest. Some drama art, some reactions. Sadly, YouTube artists are getting few and far between due to everyone chasing the trends and clickbaits. Without clickbaiting on YouTube, you won't get far these days. Not just in art, but everything else. Thankfully, there are still large art channels out there doing some great work like Proco and Jazza and Mark Reilly and many more. So it's not completely hopeless. I just miss some of my favorite channels that no longer posting on YouTube anymore. Some left YouTube altogether and some haven't posted in a year or so. Now I know I'm not a big art channel and I don't get high views, but I'm here purely by passion, to be honest. Art channel as a career on YouTube is not feasible anymore without chasing the trends, something I don't see myself doing. I think I will stick with focusing on the content itself and hopefully the legacy I'm leaving behind. Financially, I will be happy with anything I get from views and any tips I gather along the way. I also have 2 courses on wing fogs I made like a couple of years ago that I will mention after I finish chapter 1. It will be like a commercial break before continuing into chapter 2, so hopefully you will check them out later. One is about figure drawing and the other is about portrait drawing and painting. Together they are about 50 hours or so. I'll explain more about them later when the time is right. As for future lessons after the Perspective mini-series, I will go back to finish the larger series about the whole art journey, talking about lighting, painting, compositions, visual library, concept art, and much more. I think I have about 500 or so video ideas for this series, but I'm known to go into so much detail that I won't be surprised that the series expands even to 1,000 videos in total. So you'll see where to go from there after I finish the Perspective mini-series. Now I'm putting the final touches on the painting in the background, and it's done. A good 3 hour session. Now let's do something crazy. I want to change a little bit of the character, break from the realistic style and add some Western comics slash anime touch on it. So let's cover the previous face with some skin values and paint over it with the new sets of darker eyes, different nose and mouth, and see how that goes. This is like character creation in video games, keeping the same body but changing the features a little bit. It's also how we do different variation in concept art on props, vehicles, scenes, and characters. Now, of course, I won't take long time redesigning the log. I will keep that in a future lesson. I'm planning to do a video on how you can draw like other artists using different photos. But for now, I'll just do 30 minutes or so of work to the face and maybe to the hair, while keeping the rest as it is. And I know it needs more work, but this is basically a second character done using the same reference photo with an addition of some imagination. Now what if we want to go full anime? We can do another 30 minutes and change the features even more to a more anime face and hair. This will also treat a serious issue with beginner artists, being too much of a perfectionist, not wanting to touch or change a strand of hair that isn't in the reference photo. Destroying your own art on purpose will help dealing with this issue. I know because my teacher made me draw a portrait for like 3 hours using pencils, only to tear it apart and throw it in the trash, just to teach me that lesson. It's much easier to do in Photoshop though. All you need is to add a new layer and draw whatever feature you want on top. Treat it like a character creator tool. Add 10 different noses, eyes, mouths, ears, and hair, and just mix and match in between them to get as many characters as you want. And there they are, 3 portraits out of 1 reference. Foreshadowing, of course, chapter 3 in the current perspective series and a portrait series coming soon. This was not a lesson by any means, just a little celebration of reaching 20,000 subscribers on this little channel. And again, thank you all for being here and for enjoying the ride with me through this long, hard journey. Well, now it's time for me to go back to work. Lesson 6 and 7 will be up next week for the perspective chapter 1. So it's time for me to do some voiceover and some editing. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.